Hi everyone, it's Lynn Terry of TravelingLowCarb.com, host of the 90-Day Low Carb Challenge. And I wanted to pop in live tonight because I have some very exciting news and I really want your feedback on it. And I'm going to ask you a couple of different questions, so would love to just hear your honest answers, honest feedback on the topic because it's all about you, it's all for you, and I want to do it in a way that you love. Anyway, a couple of things. We've been doing a lot of baking here this weekend and this week so far, and that includes low-carb blueberry muffins that were really good, low-carb double chocolate walnut cookies that actually taste more like brownies. Let's see, low-carb blondies, lots of baking. So unfortunately, I don't have all the photos and recipes ready for you yet, but as soon as I get all of that, put up on travelinglowcarb.com, I will be sure to give you the links because it's been a delicious couple of days here. Speaking of, we had an amazing meal last night, which was cauliflower rice sauteed with peeling nuts. And I like the spicy chili peeling nuts. I say that wrong. Spicy chili peeling nuts. Anyway, I like those, and I don't really like spicy food, but it gives it just enough kick and flavor because, cauliflower has no flavor. So I like to saute it in like butter and salt and then add the spicy chili peeling nuts. That's always a tongue twister for me. Anyway, topped with grilled shrimp and with a seared squash on the side. That was delicious. And so tonight's low-carb dinner was awesome as well, and it would also be considered a pescatarian meal. And that would be, we had the rest of what was left over of the cauliflower rice and peeling nuts with grilled salmon that was marinated and with a rub and on the grill over the cauliflower rice. Actually, it was over a bed of fresh baby spinach and then the cauliflower rice on the side. Anyway, so we're having some amazing low-carb meals here. Lots of low-carb baking. I cannot wait to share the recipes with you for especially the brand new recipe for double chocolate walnut cookies. Yum. I think I had 4 of those today. And still within my macros. And of course, we had low-carb blondies, which are always a personal favorite of mine. You can find the recipe for those at travelinglowcarb.com/blondies. And also tried out some brand new low-carb blueberry muffins. So stay tuned for the recipes. As soon as I get all the photos and macros and details and the recipe calculated and all that stuff, I'll publish it on travelinglowcarb.com. Anyway, so let me get to the point because I have some very exciting news and I have some questions for you. And I would really, really like your feedback because, like I said, I'm doing this for you. And I want to do it in a way that you love and are really excited about. So the big exciting news, we'll start with that. I am going into like an omnimedia format. So where I have, I spent the first, I've been doing this, by the way, for 6.5 years. For those of you who are new to the 90-Day Low Carb Challenge or to travelinglowcarb.com, I've been doing this for 6.5 years. And for the first few years, it was mostly blogging only and some social media. And of course, our Facebook group at 90daylowcarbchallenge.com. And then I incorporated some more media into it, like Instagram. So I'm instagram.com/lowcarbtraveler, where you can basically see everything I'm eating all the time on the spot. And anyway, so the next phase of this is a podcast, and it is a low-carb podcast. And I'm going to have a very fun co-host. And so I want to introduce this concept to you and ask you a couple of questions and get your feedback about it. First of all, my co-host is male. And he's someone I've worked with before. And he is, I can't remember his stats. Let's see, I think he's 47. And I'm 44, by the way, for those of you who aren't like really familiar with me or didn't follow my story on travelinglowcarb.com. His name is Paul, and we have done some work together before in our professional careers years ago. And anyway, so he would like to lose about 80 pounds, he says. And he's very interested in going low carb. And so we are going to do it live via podcast, and there will be some video involved as well. But how many of you would be interested in seeing Paul lose 80 pounds during a season? It'll be a seasonal show, so like 10 to 12 episodes. I'm not saying, like lose 80 pounds in X number of days because, legally I'm not allowed to make such claims. I'll show you a picture of us working together, by the way. I don't know how this will work, showing you a screen on a screen, but I'm going to try to do this. But what I'm going to need from you, and this is very important, is if you're watching this and you would be interested, I need you to show me you're interested. So you have to click the like button or the love button or leave a comment. There has to be some vote from you, however you want to do it. You can leave a comment or you can just click the like or the love or whatever the case. And that's how I'll know how many people are actually interested in me doing a live podcast. Like I said, there'll be some video involved too. So I want to ask you some questions about that because I definitely want to do this in a way that interests you. All right, so I'll show you a picture of Paul and I so you know who I'm talking about. He is a friend and business colleague of mine, someone I've known professionally for years and have the greatest respect for. We work very well together. This is actually a photo of us working together in Portland, Oregon, which I must say was not good for my hair. If you've ever been to Portland and you have fine hair, well, you know exactly what I'm talking about. All right, so let's see if this will show up. Can you see that? So that's Paul and I working together. You can see our microphones there, and we were actually shooting a video and working on some podcasting then. So we have actually podcasted together before, and he is, like I said, he's on the West Coast in Oregon and in his 40s as well, and would like to lose about 80 pounds. And so we got together and we were talking about it, and he's like, "I'd like to help you start your podcast. I'd like you to help me lose about 80 pounds. I said, "You know what? I think this is sounding like a pretty good deal." So, all right. So I would like your feedback. So yes. Kathy says, "I'm interested." Anne Marie said, "Oh, that Paul, this will be good." So see, Anne Marie, she's an old friend of mine as well. Not old in age, we've known each other for years. And so Anne Marie is familiar with some of the work Paul and I have done before in the past. And I can tell you that we jive very well and you are going to love him. And you'll really like, kind of how that works out. He has a good sense of humor and a fun personality like I do. Good family man, and my biggest interest, I think, will be, he has, children at home and wife and family, and so my interest will be, will he convert the whole family? Will he have to try to work around family meals? Does he do the cooking? Does his wife do the cooking? I've got a million questions. This should be very interesting, from that perspective, because I know a lot of the women in the group talk about being the one that cooks for the family, and that's not always the case. Sometimes the men cook for the family, sometimes they share it. But I know a lot of women in the group talk about, having to cook for their family and how challenging that can be sometimes when they're low carb and their family is not, or what have you. So I thought this would be a lot of fun. And so anyway, I want to ask you guys a couple of questions. Number one, do you listen to podcasts? Or have you ever listened to a podcast at all? And do you listen to podcasts regularly? So that's the first question. If you could just give me an answer real quick. April said, "I think we need to continually educate ourselves on low carb. Each time I read or reread or listen to a class, I learn more." I feel the same way. And the more time I spend in our low carb community and around our low carb family, I call it, I feel like the more I learn and the more motivated and the more what's the word I want to use? Grounded I get in my mission, low carb for life or what have you. All right, so podcast. Kimberly says rarely. All right, so Janice said, "I listen to several podcasts a week on different topics." Very cool. I think, here's the thing. I want to bring this podcast to you in a variety of ways so that you will have a lot of different options for listening to it. So here's the thing. You don't have to have a special device or piece of equipment to listen to a podcast. You can listen to podcasts on your mobile phone, on your tablet, on your laptop, basically anywhere. Also, and let me just look here because I'm not the podcasting expert. I'm the low carb expert. Right. So there will be, I was talking to Paul earlier about the ways that we'll be able to do it. So it'll be, the podcast would be in iTunes, of course, which is normal for podcasting. But if you have an Amazon Alexa or Google Home or any of those kinds of devices, you'll be able to listen to it that way. But in addition to that, like I said, you could listen to it, like I'll publish them on my blog, so you can listen to it straight from my blog. You can do it online, on a tablet, on a mobile device, anywhere like that. And we're talking about possibly doing it like this. So I could be streaming it straight into the group, just like we're doing right now, so that you could listen at your own convenience. You can listen in live and participate. How fun would that be? Like right now, like we're talking live. So if Paul and I were doing a podcast and you were getting to listen in as it was being recorded and interact and ask questions, we could even do like Q&A style podcasts. We could do them in video like this, but Facebook also has the capability for us to stream audio live like this as well. Oh, cool. David said, I listen to a variety of podcasts and webcasts and videos on various topics. Jana said, I listen on the Sticker app. Did I say that right? Spell that. That's funny. I listen on the Sticker app on mobile, sticker.com on PC. Let's see. So there is interest. You guys would definitely be interested. So my question to you, for those of you, maybe you're new to podcasting or you don't listen to podcasts yet, but you would be interested in listening to a season. It will be a season, kind of like a television show. So it would basically be the introduction to low carb, where Paul, who doesn't know the carb count of carrots versus spinach or anything really. So Paul, who has an interest in losing weight, I would walk him through 10 or 12 episodes, all of the details. And so the first season would be 10 to 12 shows and would talk specifically about an introduction to the low carb lifestyle. And results, and there would be lots of Q&A, and it would be very educational, and it would also be fun and funny. And like I said, we would deliver it to you in a variety of ways, so you could listen in via iTunes, via Alexa, via Google Home, online, at my blog, here in the Facebook group, like pretty much anywhere. And so I would be curious to know, I just need a vote, because it's a big undertaking. And it's an expense, of course. So it's a big undertaking. So I need a vote if you are interested in hearing this season. And if we do get a lot of interest, we'll probably do season 2. And it'll be even more advanced and lots of cool stuff. But if you're interested in listening to season 1, an introduction to the low carb lifestyle, where I take Paul, who is a low carb newbie, and he would like to lose about 80 pounds, like I said. I just need a vote from you, which is a comment here on this post, or if you can like it or love it or react to it, however you prefer is fine. And so that's how I'm going to collect votes, and that's how we're going to decide if we're going to move forward. So if you could let me know, that would be cool. I think it would be really fun. I'm having a really great time coming on and interacting with you here live in person, but I think it would be really fun if it wasn't just me, and because Paul will come up with some interesting questions to ask me, just like you guys do when I do the live sessions here with you. And it'll be questions I may not have thought to address, or you may not have thought to ask, especially since he's newer or new, really, to the low carb lifestyle. And so I think that it will be enlightening for both of us, for all of us, in regards to, topics that will come up and the educational aspect, but also it'll be a lot of fun, very entertaining. Again, like I said, there will be audio, there will be possibly some video, there will be lots of fun interaction going on between us, in between episodes as well online. Jody said, absolutely. I think that sounds wonderful and inspiring. So my question for those of you that listen to podcasts, I have 2 questions, and I'm really trying to collect some information here and also gauge your interest, because like I said, I'm doing this for you specifically. It's a huge undertaking. There's, financial undertaking. It takes a lot of time. So I definitely need your votes. Your likes or your comments are going to count as votes in order for us to move forward. And if we get enough votes in the next 24 hours, or in the next 48 hours, I'll say, then we'll be going live probably within a few weeks. So it should be like really fun stuff. All right, so my question for you is, if you already do listen to podcasts, or if you think you would listen to this podcast, what device would you listen on? So would you use an iPod, an iPhone? Do you have an Android phone, a tablet, and what kind of tablet? Or would you listen online? Like maybe if it was streamed through Facebook or streamed on my blog or what. So I would like to know what device or system that you would listen in on if you were listening to a podcast. Sarah said, will you follow me around with a camera and slap my hand every time I reach for a no-no food, please? You know what? Sarah, if you will remind me, I have a video to share with you. Everybody will love it. If you'll remind me, I'll share it with you. And just put put a comment there in the text chat and say, slap my hand video, please. I'll remember which one it is. It cracked me up so much, and I think you'll love it. It'll make you laugh. All right, so Sarah said she'll listen on her Samsung cell phone. Hey, I have a Samsung cell phone too. Very cool. So Millie says tablet. Kim says iPhone or iPad. Janine says my tablet. Jana says mobile and PC. Roshanda says iPhone or iPad. Leslie says iPhone. Jody says Android phone. Sally says iPhone. Okay, so you guys have the devices. That's awesome. So I'm assuming you might be even interacting with me live right now on the device you're talking about, right? That would be very cool. So it'll be very similar. You'll be getting me live. We'll be having a lot of fun with it. Christina said I have several devices I could use. The slap my hand video. This is going to be fun. Joy said, what time of the day will the podcast be airing? That's a great question. I don't know the answer to that question. What will happen, though, is we'll record it, and then it'll have to go into iTunes, Alexa. What do you call that thing? It's the Amazon Alexa, the Google Home. It'll go into all those places. It'll go on my blog. We'll stream it here on Facebook Live. It'll go in a lot of different places. And so what I'll do is I'll notify you as soon as it's available. And you can figure out how you prefer to listen to it, and you'll be able to subscribe to it. That way you'll never miss an episode. And in usual fashion, I think it would be a lot of fun for us to do maybe some drawings or giveaways or something, fun like that during the podcast season. And really want to do a couple of Q&A sessions. So we'll probably do this format where you're interacting with us live. And in the case that we choose to record live with you as a Q&A and take questions and do answers and do it live like this, I'll definitely let you know ahead of time so you can schedule to, and plan to attend live for that. So again, that's just the big exciting news. I have a low carb podcast coming out soon. My friend Paul, and I'll show you his picture again, just in case you missed that, in case you came in a little bit late, so you know who I'm talking about. We've worked together before. We've known each other professionally, probably close to a decade or more, and he's someone I highly respect and consider a good friend. So here's a picture of us, again, working together in Portland, Oregon. Can you see that? And we were in a video studio, and we were recording a podcast. And so we have podcasted together before. Sarah said a cookie giveaway. Yes, I think that sounds like a very good idea. Anyway, so that's my friend Paul. Like I said, he is a podcasting expert, and he is interested in losing about 80 pounds. So for those of you who came in late, he says, I'd love to help you get a podcast off the ground. I'd love for you to help me lose about 80 pounds. And so that's what we're talking about doing, and doing it live for you. And again, like I said, it'll be 10 to 12 episodes. I think it'll be extremely helpful, informational, and definitely entertaining. For anyone like Anne-Marie, she's familiar with Paul and I working together. She could probably vouch for that. Will definitely be entertaining. Janet said to watch your friend Paul in real time on his journey will be very inspiring. I just got chills. I feel the same way. There are so many of you that I don't know personally, like I haven't spent time with in real life and got to hug your neck or whatever. And when you tell me your stories, or you share your Facelift Friday photos, or your Throwback Thursdays, or your Motivational Mondays, I'm getting teared up. When you share those, or you write to me personally and tell me personal things, I'm a softie. I get really teared up about it. And it makes my day. It makes it worth all the time and everything that I do here for you guys worth it. I absolutely love that. It's changing lives. We're changing lives. The more people that we talk to about low carb or that we share this group with changes lives. But you know what is the absolute best thing you can do is be a walking example. It is the absolute best thing you can do. You are the best testimony there is to the low carb lifestyle. And so it's good inspiration. That's a good motivation for you to, really make a change and really make a transformation because it inspires so many other people by default. And I think it's really exciting. So many of my friends have gone healthy and a lot of us were overweight, and I've been working in my industry for over 20 years. So I travel the world. That's why I'm a low carb traveler. And I travel the world and I see the same people a lot of times, in various different places. And a lot of us have lost weight and gotten healthier, and we get together lately and we're like, wow, you look great. Wow, you look great. And it was so much fun on my recent trip to Atlanta. And I shared all the meals on the 6-day road trip on my blog at travelinglowcarb.com. But it was so much fun. We got together, there'd be like 4 or 5 of us or 8 or 10 of us around a table. And the number of healthy meals laid out on that table just made my heart sing, and there was a lot of low carb, gluten-free, paleo type stuff going around, and I just felt like I was in such good company. And I feel that way every time I log in here with our low carb family, so it's awesome. Gloria said, very interested, can't always watch live, so hope it is where we can watch anytime. That is the nature of a podcast, is that you'll be able to subscribe to it, so it won't necessarily be live, but as soon as it goes out, and I don't know how it goes out. I'm not the technical person. But as soon as it gets into iTunes or Amazon Alexa or Google Home or on your tablet or it's published on my blog or we stream it here on Facebook, you'll get notified. So you'll have the opportunity to subscribe to the podcast the same way you would subscribe to other things and get a notification as soon as the next episode is ready. So that's how it works from my simplified point of view. Which is pretty much like my plate of food. Keep it simple. I'm going to let Paul do the tech. And that's like me letting Charlie's do the cooking. Right? I'm going to let Paul do the tech, but I will explain to you, or I'll have him write it down for me so I can explain it to you, how it works, how you subscribe, and you'll be able to listen at your own time. So whenever you prefer to listen into stuff like that or watch stuff like that, if you want to catch up on the weekends or do it after work or during your drive to work or on your drive home, you can listen to it. There's different ways to do it. So I'll tell you all about the technical part of it later. All I need to know right now, and this is important, is if you're interested. And so I need votes in order to go forward with it. It's a huge undertaking. Like I said, there's a lot of time invested. There's money invested. There's a lot going into it. And so all I need is for you to like this post, love this post, or leave a comment. That all counts as what you call engagement. So if you just give me a vote in any of those ways, then I'll calculate those and we're going to determine whether we'll go forward with it or not. So just wanted to pop in here and let you know that this is what's on the table. I love a good pun. And what was on the table earlier, if you came in late, you missed it. I've been doing a lot of baking. That is not true. Erin did a lot of baking. I was doing a lot of eating. So lately there have been low-carb blueberry muffins, low-carb double chocolate walnut cookies that were really more like brownies almost. There was low-carb blondies, which are always my favorite, and quite a few other amazing things. And I haven't got all the photos and macros and recipe details together yet, but as soon as I do, I'm going to publish them on travelinglowcarb.com, which is my blog. So stay tuned for that. And I do have to go, but if you could, please just leave a vote by liking this post or however you prefer to react to it. I like when you guys leave hearts. Or leaving a comment and letting me know if you're interested. Even if you don't know what a podcast is and you don't know how to listen to one, you don't have to worry about that part. I'll take care of it because I'll stream it for you everywhere and anywhere to make it convenient for you. All I want to know is, do you want to hear the story? It'll be a season, kind of like a television show. It'll be like a reality show where my friend Paul, who's 47 years old and would like to lose 80 pounds, we are going to go live and go through the process of his weight loss journey. And he is a low-carb newbie. And so it will be very educational, very entertaining. Paul and I are quite fun together. And it'll be a lot of fun. Plus, like I said, we're going to involve you guys. And we're going to do some of the episodes live here like this, where you'll get to ask questions and we'll be answering your questions. So it'll be, you'll get to kind of interact live with that as well. So that's all I need is just a vote from you so we can make a decision about going forward, because we are literally looking at putting the pedal to the metal and getting this out of the gate in the next few weeks. So that's all I need. And in the meantime, stay tuned for my recipes, all the fun baking that's been going on here. And I have lots of fun meals to share with you. I've been posting my meals on my Facebook page, which is at facebook.com/lowcarbtraveler. Or if you're on Instagram, it's instagram.com/lowcarbtraveler. So you can see what I had for dinner last night and tonight, which are both delicious low-carb meals, but they would also be considered pescatarian. So for those of you who don't eat beef or pork, and I know there's quite a few of you, which is cool. So a lot of the meals, and I'm not pescatarian, like I love a big blackened ribeye on my plate. So, and I eat sausage, and all kinds of other stuff. You guys know that about me. However, a lot of the meals that I do eat, because I eat so simple, would be considered vegetarian friendly. So like my favorite breakfast, which I call cereal, which is pecans, cottage cheese, and strawberries, and sometimes I'll throw blueberries in there as well. That's vegetarian friendly and a good source of healthy fats and proteins from good places and things. All right, so we're going to wrap this up. I just wanted to pop in and get your feedback because I'm doing this for you, and I want to make sure that it's something that you would be interested in. Like I said, taking someone who is brand new to the low-carb lifestyle and going through that journey with them over the course of a few months, I think will be very enlightening and eye-opening for all of us in terms of the questions that come up, the topics that come up. I've been doing this for so long, and that I forget sometimes what people struggle with in the beginning or what have you. And so I think it'll be incredibly inspiring and motivating and tons of fun. All right, leave your vote. Like, love, comments, however you want. Just interact with this post in some way. That leaves a vote, and I will keep you guys posted. And I will come back and give you that video, I promised. You'll laugh so hard. All right, have a great rest of the day or night, and I'll see you back live real soon.